Welcome to Rabbit and Red Whiskey Reviews. I am Eric, and welcome to my top 5 Laphroaig whiskies. So, Laphroaig Distillery, if you are not aware, is single malt Scotch distillery on the Islay region of Scotland, and is known for one thing and one thing only, and that is peated smoky Scotches. Laphroaig is considered one of the smokiest whiskeys you can find, and has been distilling their whiskey here in the Islay region for over 200 years, established 1815. So I'm really excited to count this down. This is one of my favorite distilleries. I'm a big fan of peated Scotch, and so happy to share this with you. So let's get into it. Number 5 is the Laphroaig Lore. So a little bit of a controversial whiskey when it first came out in 2016, because it is a non-age statement whiskey, and this in a lot of ways signaled that Laphroaig was moving away from some of their age statements. Is considered to have replaced the 18-year-old, but it stands really great on its own. This is bottled at 48% and was designed by the master distiller to essentially encapsulate the essence of Laphroaig's over 200 years of distilling whiskey. So this is aged in a variety of different casks, including first fill sherry, first fill bourbon, refill bourbon, and is finished in some European ex-sherry hogsheads. This one is quite a journey. I find it to be really distinct in the different layers that you get out of this as you sip it. It really kind of moves from one thing to the next, and very much lives up to his name as being kind of a journey through the history of Laphroaig. You can find this for anywhere from about $90 to $100 in the United States. Really solid buy. I highly recommend getting your hands on a bottle of Laphroaig Lore whenever you get a chance. Number 4 is Laphroaig Carcass quarter cask strength. So for many years now, Laphroaig has been releasing annually a whiskey under its Carcass name. Carcass is Gaelic for friendship. They do this each year in honor of the Whiskey Festival in Islay. And this one in particular from 2017, I think was a real standout. This is bottled at 57.2% ABV. It is unchill filtered. Also does not have an age statement on it, but let me tell you, this one packs a punch. This is, in my opinion, the most intense Laphroaig release that I've ever had. It is really, really smoky. I would consider it a peat bomb. This is aged in first fill bourbon, and I think is finished in American oak quarter casks. So basically, they take much smaller casks, and that allows more interaction between the spirit and the whiskey. So you can imagine that imparts a lot more of that oakiness into the spirit. And believe me, this one packs a punch. You can still find it on shelves in the United States. I wouldn't say widely available, but it's still pretty available. Check online, check your local shop. Find this anywhere from $70 to $80. Laphroaig Carcass 2017 quarter cask strength. It's my number 4 Laphroaig. Coming in at number 3 is the Laphroaig 25-year-old. This one in particular is bottled at 48.9%. This is a mix of ex-bourbon and ex-sherry, and comes in this giant wooden box to kind of denote the quality of the age statement. This is just in short an incredible whiskey. As it's aged, most peated whiskeys tend to lose some of that intense signature smokiness in favor of bringing out some more of the subtleties, and that's exactly what you get. This is just a subtle and complex dram, but it will definitely get you some of that peat smoke as well. It doesn't go away completely. It's still there, but it's just working harmoniously with a whole bunch of other influences from that ex-sherry and ex-bourbon. This is the kind of malt you want to sit down and take your time with. Like I said, it definitely shares the stage, the peat smoke, and a bunch of the other flavors that you're going to get out of this. Just a simply incredible dram, something that I think for folks who've been drinking Laphroaigs for a while would appreciate. The price tag, however, you are looking at somewhere around $350 US for something like this. So this one comes at a hefty price tag, but it's worth it if you're looking to kind of take that next step. Drink a Laphroaig that you can really explore and find some of those subtle complexities that you just don't get in the younger stuff, because it is so overpowered with that signature peat smoke that you get out of their whiskeys. So Laphroaig 25, that is my number 3 on my top 5 Laphroaig list. Coming in at number 2 is the now discontinued, but still can be found, Laphroaig 18. Whether it's the white label or the earlier version green label, Laphroaig 18 is the sweet spot of Laphroaig's lineup. This whiskey is just perfect for getting that mix of a more aged single malt Scotch and all the complexities that come with it, but still has that delicious peat smoke that you get out of Laphroaig's whiskeys. This one you cannot find in shops anymore, but can be found on the secondary markets for around $170 or so. I think it's worth a buy once in your life. Putting aside in just the amazing peat smoke that you get out of this whiskey, it really brings out and showcases some of the floral and savory notes that you can find in Laphroaig. It just something that when you pour it in the glass, it just continues to evolve. So keep your eyes peeled. This might be a whiskey that you can find online in the secondary market. Maybe a friend of yours has it. Maybe he'll pour you a dram, or you'll find it on one of those dusty shelves in the back of your local shop. Laphroaig 18 is my number 2 on my top 5 favorite Laphroaig list. Which brings us to number 1. My number 1 Laphroaig whiskey is the Laphroaig 10 at cask strength. Laphroaig 10 cask strength, I think, is really the essence of Laphroaig. As their name says, it is the most richly flavored of all Scotch whiskeys. I think this Laphroaig 10 cask strength really delivers on that. You are getting an age statement, so you know that the whiskey in here has at least been aged for 10 years. It is non-chill filtered, but it's also bottled at cask strength. This one, for example, is bottled at 58%. So you are getting a youthful, peaty Laphroaig. As you know, usually with the younger whiskeys, when it comes to peat smoke, if you want that intensity, the youthful stuff's going to deliver. And that's what you get out of this. But it also, each year, you get a different batch release. So there's going to be a variety of different experiences you get with each release. No two are the same. This one, for example, is from January of 2018. This is batch 10. So really what you're getting is that signature peat forward medicinal iodine punch in the face, which is what Laphroaig is known for, but you are also getting a lot of richness and subtle complexities that are built into this from being at cask strength and not being diluted. So you are going to have a different experience each time. I think this is by far the best Laphroaig experience you can get, mostly because the price range on this is simply one of the best deals you can get. You can find a bottle of this anywhere from about $65 to $75 here in the United States. So it's an absolute steal. If you want to experience Laphroaig the way Laphroaig is meant to be experienced, I highly recommend grabbing yourself a bottle of the Laphroaig 10 at cask strength. So there you have it, folks. This is my top 5 list of my favorite Laphroaig whiskeys. Thanks for swinging by the channel, and we will catch you next time here on Rabbit and Red Whiskey Reviews. Salam to y'all.